What if I told you that one simple sentence, just a few words of praise, could completely change how motivated you feel for the rest of your life? It sounds unbelievable, but a single line changed how hundreds of kids thought, worked, and even felt about learning. In 1998, a professor at Columbia University named Claudia Mueller conducted a fascinating experiment. She gathered a large group of fifth graders and asked them to solve a set of very challenging puzzles by themselves. Regardless of how well each child performed, every one of them was told that they had done exceptionally well, that they had scored better than most other students. Then, she divided the students into two groups. Half were told, "You did great because you're really smart." The other half were told, "You did great because you worked really hard." That's it. That was the only difference. After that, the kids were given 3 new sets of puzzles: easy ones, medium ones, and extremely difficult ones. The results were eye-opening. The kids, who had been praised for being smart, spent most of their time on the easy puzzles. They avoided the hardest ones and gave up much faster. And when they were asked whether they enjoyed the experiment, most said, "Not really." But the kids who were praised for their effort, they did the opposite. They jumped into the hard puzzles. They spent more time overall trying to solve them, and even said they enjoyed the entire experience. So why such a massive difference between two groups of kids who were told nearly the same thing? It all comes down to a psychological idea called the locus of control. Your locus of control is basically how much you believe you have power over your own life. The kids who were told they were smart developed what's called an external locus of control. They started to believe their success came from something outside of their control, being born smart or gifted. But the kids who were told they did well because of their effort developed an internal locus of control. They believed it was their own actions, their hard work and persistence, that led to their success. Studies show that people with an internal locus of control are far more motivated. Why? Because when you believe your effort actually makes a difference, you keep pushing. But when you think success depends on luck or talent, you eventually stop trying. I've seen this firsthand. Years ago, I managed a door-to-door sales team. It was one of the toughest jobs out there. Most people quit within a week. Every day, we faced hundreds of rejections. But after some time, I noticed a pattern. Whenever a new salesperson had a bad day, no sales at all, I'd ask them, "Why do you think that happened?" The ones who said things like, "The weather was bad," or "It was the weekend," or "The neighborhood wasn't good," almost always quit soon after. They had an external locus of control. They thought their failure was caused by things they couldn't change. But the ones who said, "I could have worked harder," or "I should have talked to more people," were the ones who improved and lasted. They had an internal locus of control. They believed their results came from their own effort, not from luck or circumstances. That's the danger of an external locus of control. When you think nothing you do matters, you stop trying. You give up before you even start. But when you take responsibility, when you believe your actions shape your results, you stay motivated no matter what happens. So, how do you develop that internal control? Start small. Solve simple problems in your own life and recognize that you made it happen. Let's say you struggle to fall asleep. You do some research. You learn about getting sunlight in the morning, avoiding blue light at night, and only using your bed for sleep. You apply all that, and within a few days, you start sleeping faster. At that moment, tell yourself, "I did this. My effort worked." That's how you train your brain to connect effort with outcome. Over time, that belief becomes stronger, and your motivation becomes unstoppable. When you believe your life is shaped by your own actions, you don't wait for inspiration. You don't need external validation. You already know your choices matter. So remember this: praise effort, not talent. Focus on what you can control. Because the moment you take ownership of your life, that's the moment motivation becomes your natural state.